We have the great Paul Chapman next. He is in his 8th year of being an RSVIP member. I don't even know if you knew that, Paul. But yeah, so Paul is a good friend, an amazing marketeer. I've worked with Paul on various different projects over the years, and again, can't recommend him highly enough in his industry. He's a marketing strategy expert, international speaker, best-selling author and multiple business owner, and has worked in the industry now at all levels for over 20 years. So Paul's going to share some experience.
20 years.
I know, can you believe it? So what's changed, what hasn't, and what do you need to do next?
Hello everyone, this is Ace, isn't it? Well, thank you for having me. Too many things. I'm definitely getting older. Like technology is like, it's like having a conversation with my dad at the moment. But yeah, look, thank you. I mean, kind of as you'd expect, really, as sort of three masters back to back, it's very much the same sort of thing. I think, going through the three bits that kind of Fiona said there, look, what's changed, what hasn't, and what's next. At some level, and I don't know, relatively controversially, kind of nothing's changed. We've seen this before. Different causes. We've seen, different causes, I guess, different kind of scale, but we have seen this before. I think, arguably, the effect of this will be minimised compared to some other things because of the sheer amount of financial support that's out there. I think it is unprecedented to have, people's wages paid by the government. It is unprecedented to have self-employed people to pay. It remains very, very difficult for those of us that are directors. I'm working with some guys that are working directly with the government, so I believe there's stuff coming, but I don't know. But on the grand scheme of things, kind of with regards to the rules of getting a business, kind of nothing's actually changed here. We've had a really interesting time over the last kind of 3, 4, 5 years where people have forgotten the point of marketing. People have gone to volume marketing. They have not thought, I think is the truth of the matter. They just simply haven't put enough thought into stuff. And they've forgotten kind of what marketing is about. Marketing isn't just being the real geek. Marketing isn't a selling process. Marketing is a process where you earn the right to go and sell. And I think that's what we're seeing at the moment is that, the people that have just gone and, kind of smashed it to get sales are really going to struggle. And again, I'm sure if anyone's met me before, they'll have bored you with the fact that, most business owners get customers to make sales. They're really smart people. They get a sale to get a customer. And the people that have got customers, people that have got relationships, exactly as Matt, exactly as Vicky said, those are the guys that have done really well out of this because they can continue to have conversations. They can reach out for stuff. They have earned the right to put stuff in front of them. And, there are loads of good examples here. You look at, obviously Joe Wicks has just done brilliantly. He will do incredibly well out of this, even down to the fact that he has, donated, 100 grand last week to the NHS on his ad revenue. He's just a very smart guy, but he is a guy that has gone out not to make people fit. He's gone out to make people like him. And actually, as Vicky said, it's all the best brands are doing it. I'm sure none of you are drinkers, but anyone that follows Brewdog, they've done very, very nicely out of this. They handle their message really well. Really, sort of, first of all, sort of saying, look, guys, we're in a real problem here. Just bear with us while we sort it out. We're going to have to stop some discounts for a while, and they kind of did with it. But there's loads of great examples, and I think one of the problems when you start to talk about the Brewdogs and the kind of the Joe Wickses is that everyone goes, oh well, look, Paul, they're big guys, but all of us can do what they're doing. As ever with any bit of marketing, when you look at it, you're looking for the concept of what you're doing. And again, slightly weirdly, I'm looking straight at Craig here, but the guys at Sutherland and Barnett, Craig and Andrew, I don't know if you're not looking at their social feed, go and look at their social feed. The stuff they're doing at the moment is absolutely brilliant. It is an exact template for all of us about how to engage when you haven't got the ability to go and do it. And I think, dare I say, again, I'm huge fans of theirs anyway, and I genuinely can't wait to get back in. But they are a relationship business that just happens to kind of do hair. And I think the big thing that what needs to change at the moment is that sadly, and I did promise not to swear, is that I think what the big change at the moment is that we can't get away with crap marketing anymore. I think the amount of people that have, as I say, forgotten what it's about, forgotten what marketing is for, is that we have to kind of think a lot more about it. And I think particularly, and I wish this is kind of sounding kind of fairly tedious about this, almost certainly there's another lockdown coming. So we do have a period of time to do something about it. We do have a period of time to go and and, to start to look at this. But I think in the grand scheme of things, kind of nothing's changed. Yes, it's incredibly hard. Yes, we've been dealt a massive blow, but I guess the bulk of us are business owners here. We always play the cards we've got in front of us. We can rig the deck a little bit. We can do the right kind of stuff. I think the big thing that comes out of this for all of it is that we need to kind of think a bit more. We need to think, well, okay, look, gone are the days of the American kind of smash and grab thing where you can, it was beautiful days. There was, as the time 5, 6, 7 years ago where we put our book online, we spent 50 quid on Facebook, like 200 or 300 downloads, and we'd made a couple of grand, and it was just brilliant. But that's not there anymore because there is too much noise, and that it is going to continue. And I think so kind of with the what's changed it, kind of not a huge amount. What's not changed therefore is that relationships continue to be key. And I think people say they have relationships, but realistically, if we all look around our own businesses now and think, well, look, how many people are we speaking to? How many people can we reach out to? What amount of time, if we all believe that actually marketing is earning the right to sell, how much time is doing it there? And I think a lot of this comes from that people don't think, people aren't spending enough time thinking about what they want their marketing to do. The people see it as a sales tool, which I get it. None of us are sat here, well, probably a lot of us are sat here twiddling our thumbs at the moment, but normally most of us aren't sat there twiddling our thumbs. There's a lot to go on here. And I think, I think I just get old and crusty and kind of just generally more annoying as kind of time goes on. But my biggest bugbear is that people aren't putting any time into thinking about their marketing. Part of this is because the tools are so easy. We have got an embarrassment of riches. It's never been as easy to make money as it is now. The tools are better. We have better information than it's ever been, and that I think also confuses the issue because people aren't quite sure kind of what to do about it. And I think that's kind of the big thing that we've got here is that actually the rules of getting customers, it doesn't change, but we are going to have to think more. Sort of, I'm not having a bit of time, but kind of going into the what's next, I think is the most important bit. I think it's going to be a bit of a shitstorm. I do think when we come out of this stuff, I think it is going to be, because it's going to be massively noisy because people are going to have to push their, people that have been furloughed, people that have had that, people that when they come out of that and that's not there anymore and they've got to go up, they've got to go push out, it's going to be massively noisy. It's going to be hugely crowded. I think we are going to see a smaller market. I think, I'm sure we all know some businesses that have gone under, about to go under. It is going to be smaller. There will be more people that are, it's going to be a bit like the start of a 100 meters race, but instead of having like 8 people on the line, there's going to be 20,000 people on the line. Everyone's going to be racing out, everyone's going to be shouting, and everyone's going to be trying to put out there. And I think, the reality is if any of us are putting stuff out that isn't properly thought through, clear and present strategy, or kind of clear and coherent strategy, exactly as I think Matt and probably Vicky said as well, but it has to be crystal clear to, for, and about the perfect target market. And I think a lot of people still don't know what their perfect target market looks like, and so they can't have the conversations with them. But I think kind of the good news in all this, what COVID has given us, has given most of us, is time. It's time to actually do the things you keep meaning to do. I had a brilliant one today. I tried to write it down as you were telling me, but and forgive me, more bad language, sorry. I had a brilliant email from a client that said, look, Paul, I just finally want to get my shit together. I've binge marketed, I've tried to do stuff, I've tried to do nothing, I've done it sporadic. And effectively, this comes out, look, I just need a plan. Give me a set of steps to do and follow it through. This isn't about doing hundreds and hundreds of things. And I think kind of my best advice, and any of you that have got a bit of time now, and even if you haven't, you need to find a bit of time, because it is going to be loud, it is going to be noisy, it's going to be almost more difficult, I think, to market out. The bulk of my time now, I'm doing a bit of stuff where I'm managing people through. The bulk of my time now is helping people to create that plan for next time, because if you haven't got that, I just think it's going to get a lot harder. I think, there needs to be a proper set of steps, however many steps it is, but with absolute clarity. Like, these are the people, this is what I want them to feel about what I do. So I'm trying to earn that right to sell. This is going to become ever more important. So let's just say we come out of this a little bit more and people's time is freed up and schools go back to kind of June, July. we're probably going to get another lockdown, I would guess, September, October time. There could be. So we've got this thing, okay, how do I make people feel good about me? And it can happen. Now, again, back to the guys at Sutherland and Barnet, check out the stuff they're doing. It's absolutely the right kind of stuff. And it is, and, forgive me, I mean, it's hugely complex, lads. But actually, it's just simple, well thought through. It's doing the right stuff. And I think, the strongest thing I could urge us all to do is just take some time to really think and think, okay, when we come out the other side, exactly as Vicky said, look, what's going on in their world? How do I fit into that? Because they're still going to want to buy the stuff that you've got. They're still going to want to do it. They're still going to want to spend some money. There will be some financial stuff, but a lot of people, the financial stuff, because of sport, won't be as hard as it is. And I think, again, I'm not asking for a show of hands here, but a previous talk I did, I was talking about most people are, if they're truly honest with themselves, most people get new business by accident. There's no plan, there's no process, there's no, again, it's really easy for me to say, but I think the best possible thing you can do is take some time to think it all through, start to build a process that you can, because you've all done stuff that works, do more of that stuff. I look at, pretty much any bit of marketing, I'm sure I've tried. I have honed it down over the last 8-10 years to have two things that work. And everything is about how do I do more of those two things. And I think, it's, and I'm sure I'm about the answer, so I will kind of preface. So use this time now, think really carefully. For me, this is blank sheet of paper stuff. Look, what do I want? Who are my perfect, if you don't know it, who are my absolute perfect people? The people that will pay you what you want to be paid to do, work that you want to do as you do it. People that are easy to find, maybe people that are local, the people that are, it may be that you need to look for people that are kind of, happy to do it remotely, but who are those people? What's going on in their world? And then what do I need to do to earn their attention, to enable me to have some sort of engagement, to enable me to go to the next point that kind of says, hey, look, I've got this thing. Do you want to do it? And I think that will be my big thing, because we have got time to do it now. We've got real time. We've got this great support around you. There are people that you can speak to. But, if you end up with a simple process that you can do, set running, check in with, and just do it 1, 2 to 3 to 4 and on, which means you then get to do the stuff that you're good at, the stuff that you enjoy, the day-to-day stuff, and you end up with this systemized thing where you can set it running, and you can, and you make it better each time. Because the beauty of that is that you can see where the pinch points are. If you write, a brilliant post on Facebook, whatever it is, you send out a direct mail, whatever it is, loads of people engage, but no one goes to the next step. Brilliant. You've got a thing that works. You now know this bit is the pinch point. Think more about that bit. Then do it again. Then do it again. Then do it again. But I think, genuinely, I think if you're coming out of this without a proper, clear marketing plan, as a plan to earn the right to speak to people, I think you're in for a challenging kind of 2 to 3 years ahead. But, it's probably enough for me. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Paul.